this stuff about God's so deep I don't understand. God is saying, listen, I ain't too deep to know, don't do that. You don't need to know Hebrew or Greek to know this is a bad idea. Am I making sense? You don't need any kind of language to understand, hey, this is probably not a smart thing to do. Now, he reminds them that the commands of God are accessible. Stop thinking that it's so deep. Stop lying to yourself that it's so crazy that you can't understand what the will of God is. Here's the deal. We know it's not that. I'm clear that God's not over there. Now, and then he says this, that he said, but they are not only are the commands accessible, he said, but they're clear stakes. He said, listen, obedience brings one thing, and disobedience brings another. So when I got a choice, I need to understand that if I do this, I'm going to get that. And if I do that, I'm going to get this. I'm not even confused about it. You know, you remember back in the day when you get a whooping and your mama would always start with, didn't I tell you? But it was always to the rhythm of the belt. Now, if you was lucky enough, didn't have two syllables, then it was just one. Didn't I tell you? That did not tell you was saying that it's not too deep. You had a choice. You had a choice. I told you don't do this. You did it. So we're not confused about where we are right now. So don't look surprised and don't be shocked. Am I making sense? See, Moses is like, don't be surprised. Don't act out deep. It says there's clear. So that means this. I know, saints of God, that means you know. Man of God, that means you know. Youth, you know that God's not over there. You clear on that? And you say, if I make this choice, what I'm choosing to do is accept the whooping that comes along with it. See, life is very simple, Dickie Young. Life is very simple. Hey, I'm gonna disobey God on this one. Which means I am willing to absorb all the consequences that go along with disobeying God. Because I know this is not God. Imagine if you could throw your life down and say, wait a minute, if I just ask myself that question, if I just say, if I make this choice, that I know that along with it comes these consequences. And I'm saying willingly, I'll take it. I want to encourage you this week to buy a T-shirt and print on it, it just says, I'll take it. And whenever you gotta make a decision, just go home, put that T-shirt on, go to your bathroom, close the door, cut on the light, and look in the mirror and say, I am agreeing with God and myself to take this L. I'm going to take it because I know that God's not in this decision, but I'm still choosing. Am I making sense? And it ain't too deep. I just know I'm going to just take it. So he says, obedience brings life and disobedience brings death and curse. And so I've got personal responsibility. So a lot of things that I blamed on God, I've got to take a step back and say, you know what? That wasn't God. That was me. And I knew. I walked right into that, and I agreed to take that whooping. Am I making sense? So with this message, saints of God, you'll find out something. that life is a lot more simpler than we believe. Because it's not as complicated as we want to make it, because it's just, I got a choice to make. And I know to obey God means I'm in God's favor. To disobey God means I'm not in God's favor. And sometimes I have said openly, I am not going to be in God's favor. I'll take whatever Satan gives me. And I think I'll just roll the dice on this one and I hope that it ain't as bad as it could be. And making sense. See, I like this message, y'all, because what's happening with this message is it's simplifying life for you. It's making life so simple. The power of choice. God gave you a number. God said, commit to it. You say, no. He says, okay. Your choice. Dr. Moody can't make me. Okay. No problem. That's your choice. That making sense. At the end of this message, we're going to say, if you don't know Jesus, will you give your life to Christ? Every Sunday we do this. And we're going to say, hey, if you don't know him, and we're going to say, if you know you're not saved, because no one is accidentally saved. Everybody that's saved, that you know you're saved. Everybody that's not saved, you know you're clear on it. And there are a few of us that are wondering. I had a bad week this week. But every day, every Sunday, you get to make a choice. So think about it. And so at the end of the service, you say, man, I'm going to make a choice. Where I say, I'm going to take the L. Hopefully, I don't die this week. But I'm willing to accept the risk. Clear enough? Clear enough. You see how simple this message is? So you go to my next slide. I'm going to go to my next slide. So now, when we look at this idea of human choice, remember, that means this, that unlike other animals, like you're not a dog, you're not a snake, you're not, so you don't have to function by instinct. A snake is going to function by instinct. Because they have, listen, your snake, I'll be nerdy with you for a second. They have an old brain, a reptilian brain. You have what's called a prefrontal cortex, a higher level of thinking. We all got one. Now, whether we use it or not, that's your choice. But you got one, right? So imagine that God gives you this part of your brain, and he says, this part of your brain can help you. Because a snake just knows either to bite or run, fight or flight. A dog, fight or flight. But as a human being, what God gives all of us is the ability to operate above our instincts. That means there are times where I want to fight you. But God has given me the wisdom and the ability to think and say, I cannot do this. This ain't a smart thing to do. There are times when I want to do some stupid stuff. But God give me the wisdom where he says, okay, move around, right? So that means I have the ability to discern. I have the ability to weigh options. I have the ability to decide. And God gives me a gift. That means this, that I can choose between right or wrong. I can make a choice. After service this afternoon, we all gonna go to lunch. And then, so in a little over an hour, you're gonna be making choices. All of us are. And here's the deal, and we're not unaware of where we are health-wise. And so you're not, if you drive up to Popeyes, it's right there. It's right there. You drive over to McDonald's, It's a choice. It's right there. Am I making sense? If you pull out the menu, wherever you go, they have a list of choices. And now all of us get to say, I choose to eat to prolong my life, or to shorten it, or to complicate it. Am I making sense? No, and listen, I always tell people this when we say, well, I'm just going to do what I got to do, and I'm going to believe God for the best. That you're passing on your responsibility to God. Because you're saying that I'm making a bad choice, but I need God to make up for it. Now, so I can choose between right and wrong. And here's the deal. And my choices shape not just my life, but generations to come. So Moses is talking to these people who is the second generation, and he's saying, hey, so your parents made some choices. That got us here. So now I'm getting ready to pass on, and I'm getting ready to hang on to the next leader, Joshua. But you're still going to be stuck with that choice. And now you got to make the same choice your parents made. The reason why you've been living in the desert is because of the choice they made. Now, your future generation, they're going to live based upon the choices you make. So could you imagine now? If you look at Austin, Travis County, we got a major issue that we don't like to talk about. It's called water. That's right. And we using up too much water. But all of us, we make choices. You go turn the shower on, and you walk away. And you iron your clothes. Listen to music, letting it get nice and steamy in there. And that's your choice, right? But when your great-grandkids are in Austin, and everybody get a bucket a week of water, because we sucked up all the water, it might not be the government's fault. It might be the choices I make. Am I making sense to you? All right. And so my choices shape my future, and then my choices also shape my relationship. Because listen, choosing God sometimes means that I'm not just following rules. I'm following God just because I love Him. Now go to my next slide. Let's go. You're with me. So now why do we make bad choices? Why do we make bad choices? One, we make bad choices for these 4 reasons. Because number one, we're fearful. We're fearful sometimes because you're like, ooh, to make the right choice, I don't know if God can help me with this. And so we have a bias of fear. When I doubt God's goodness, or His power, I generally shrink back from listening to God. I don't want to do this because I don't know if God gonna get me in the end. So when I doubt God's faithfulness, it makes it harder for me to be obedient to Him. Am I making sense? So if I do this and I'm obedient to God, will God show up? That's always the question. That's the question. Will God show up? Now here's the deal. Now if you've ever asked God that question, you have proof that He did. You have proof that He did, but your mind says that proof don't matter. That was different. But you have proof that He showed up. You have proof that He answered. Am I making sense? So we don't make choices because we're scared. We don't make choices because we like doing the same thing. And I like doing what's comfortable. I share with my leaders this morning. I said, I've been battling with this for years, and it doesn't make any sense. I said, it makes no sense, but I've been battling with it. Actually, I ain't been battling with it. I've been making stupid choices. for years. I will purchase the apps, and I have cable. I know better. All my logic in the world says this is dumb. There's nothing in my life that makes it make sense, except for the fact that I'm accustomed to watching the games that I want to watch on ABC, ESPN, CBS, NBC, whenever I want to watch them. And my fear is, if I cut off the cable, I told him, I'm admitting my issue. I'm admitting my issue. This ain't your issue, this is mine. My fear is if I cut off the cable, I'm going to want to watch the game, and it's going to be on ESPN plus Hulu minus Disney, Paramount plus Peacock. And I'm going to have to chase it around and trying to figure out what can I register for, and that's too hard. And so now here's the dumb me, y'all. This is your dumb pastor. Your dumb pastor says, I would rather pay more money because it's familiar to me than I would that makes economic sense. Am I making sense? So that's me. I don't know what your familiarity is, but there are things that we all do where we say, I know better than this. I absolutely know better. But just because it's familiar to me, I want to do it. And I want to do it the way. Am I making sense? If I want to drive to Houston, and four of us driving to Houston, because I don't want to wait for you, and I want to listen to the music I want to listen to, I'm going to buy gas and drive myself. And we're all going to drive 4 separate cars to the same place. And we're even going to follow each other. Same highway, same place, same day. But we're going to pay 4 times the gas because I just want to be in my own car. Am I making sense? It was funny. Y'all look at me like, you right, you right, you're right. So we all got this sickness of familiarity. Am I making sense? So fear, familiarity.
Thank you for worshiping with us today. If you liked this message, you can find the rest at cmllcstore.com. We invite you to join us again for our extraordinary worship services every Sunday at 10:30 a.m., Sundays at 4 p.m., and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central, where Dr. Moody teaches how to understand the Bible, and you can get all your biblical questions answered. We look forward to connecting with you. We ask that you subscribe to The Rock ATX on YouTube and follow The Rock ATX on Facebook and Instagram to stay connected to all The Rock is doing. You can also get connected on our website at therockatx.org. Again, thank you for worshiping with us, and be blessed.